Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast. I am here with Bence
Hello, guys.
and I'm here with Matt.
Hi everyone.
And I am Mate, and we are here to discuss the differences between the bachelor's and the master's degree of communications and media, and specifically in Corvinus. So I would like to start with the first question that we have prepared for Ma. What is your bachelor's degree's major? Because I know that you didn't get a communications bachelor.
Hello again, it's me, Ma. So I did my bachelor's back in Mongolia 3 years ago in international relations.
And is the system, like the university system, similar there to Europe, or is it kind of different?
I think in general, our higher education system kind of leans towards like Russian education system because we had 40 years of influence during communism era in Mongolia. And since then, we tried many different programs. We tried to change the educational system, but still it's somehow very similar to Russian education system, which is very strict. You have to be on time. You have to raise hands when talking to the professors. It's very hierarchical.
But it was an enjoyable experience, or no?
Partially it was good. It was different than my high school years. Well, it's just adults in the university, but with the same setting, with the same professors. Even the teaching method is same. So
Was it hard to switch from high school to your university back there?
what do you mean it was hard to switch?
Because in Hungary we have this point system. You have to achieve, I think, 400.
You mean like, was it hard to get accepted?
Yes, yes. So we have a point system. It differs every year, and I think
very
Corvinus, Corvinus has pretty high scores, I guess, because each year there are like 500.
Yeah, was your university back in Mongolia prestigious?
It's considered to be prestigious because it's the first public higher education institute in Mongolia, and especially the international relations program. It is renowned for its prestigious program, preparing future diplomats. So, but for me, it wasn't that hard, We had our entrance exams, and I think I took 3 or 4 entrance exams: English, history, social science, etc. And I was ranked like in the top 10, and it wasn't that hard for me.
And why did you choose this specific major?
At that time, honestly, I didn't know what kind of career or which sector I'm going to be working in the future. My best shot was pursuing education in international relations because I had language skills and I was interested in cultural exchange and history.
But you did have interest, so you didn't just randomly picked one because let's just keep going.
What?
Because I know people doing this, like
Sometimes people choose their majors by just throwing a dart on a dartboard and they go in whichever place the dart landed at. But it was not random for you. Like you did think about that.
yes, because there are a lot of people that are doing it like they don't want to skip a year because they don't know what to do and they just pick one major completely randomly and I know.
Oh, you know what? I remembered something. I took a gap year before entering the university because I wanted to pursue my education, higher education in like foreign countries. And I prepared for language exam, and I also worked part-time. I was doing some part-time jobs and everything. And after a year taking a gap year, I decided to stay in Mongolia and continue my education.
You have mentioned that studies in Mongolia are quite similar to what you have in Russia.
No, I didn't study in Russia.
Yeah, I know, but it's similar.
It's
But
quite similar. I think in terms of teaching methods, in terms of how students should interact with the professors.
but it's not
at
about the
university.
material. Like,
But it's not the material, of
I think
course.
she means how strict it is, no?
yeah,
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 how
yeah.
strict it is, yeah, in terms of their teaching methods, like in terms of how we should respect our professors. And
You know, it's completely cold.
because I was very surprised at my first lesson in Corvinus, the first day of my master's. I think I was late for like 10 minutes because I didn't go to the right building. It was supposed to be at the Gellert, and I was there 10 minutes late. I was very like nervous because first I should apologize and ask the approval if I can come to the class and everything. It's normal in Mongolia. Sometimes the professors back in my bachelor studies, they would just throw you away if you are like more than 50 minutes late. But here it's not the case. And I was very surprised because I was very nervous on my first master's class, and I apologized to the teacher, and he was very chill, you know. He was like, "Oh, just come. Don't bother." So the differences starts from there.
Yeah, 10 minutes is not even late here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
My
I can tell
teachers-
Mate was late today as well. So,
No, this week I've been late for 70 minutes, or by 70 minutes.
And they would actually guilt shame you for being late. My university back in Nagoya. So yeah, everything was very strict.
And this influences our next question, but do you think getting that degree was more difficult than getting a comms bachelor would be?
Getting my degree in Nagoya.
yes.
Yeah.
It's like in terms of entrance exams.
It's more about, I guess, comparing IR and communications. So would you, like, if you were to get a communications degree in Mongolia, I don't know if you have that, would it have been easier or more difficult compared to international relations?
But it's hard to say without experience.
Wait. In terms of entering the university or in
No,
terms
no,
of
getting the degree, graduate.
No, finish.
graduate.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't say for sure because I didn't do
Yeah.
comms back in Mongolia. But
Do
I
you have
think-
it in Mongolia, communications?
I think so. They do.
So,
Honestly, you know what? It wasn't that hard for me to enter the comms master's program in Corvinus because I was well prepared enough. I had good scores, I had good background, I have some work experience, and I know for sure why I want to pursue this degree. So my intention, my goal to pursue this program was clear. So I did my homework.
so a lot of stuff that you studied in international relations was already connected to
somehow connected because right now the courses we are taking at the master's program is also tied. It's connected to cultural exchange, like intercultural communication. So partially what I studied back in Mongolia as an international relations student is also helping me right now for my master's program.
Would it have been easier to get a degree, a communications degree, than getting an international relations
Yeah,
degree?
just try to compare the both majors. Like, how would you say?
No, not compare. Would it have been easier? I'm just asking about the
Yeah,
difficulty.
this is comparing.
I think since I was studying in my own language, native language, of course, entering or graduating in Mongolia is much more easier. Here, I have to do everything in English. I have to interact with lots of international students. I have to respect where they're coming from. I have to basically behave myself, be very self-aware when interacting with my classmates and professors. So it's much more mental load compared to interacting with my my peers back in Mongolia. It's an international setting, so it's different. It's new. It takes more effort to communicate, to interact with students. So it's definitely different, and I definitely think it's easier to just graduate in Mongolia in my own language.
And would you say that now that you are studying in Hungary, is it better to be more self-reliant, or would you be like this student who you were in Mongolia, relying on your peers and teachers because of your language?
Mm-hmm. It's better to be reliant.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like, so you have to be much more careful and learn for yourself more. And now that you are learning it that way, do you feel like learning is easier or harder?
Ah, of course it's harder because it's my first time studying in English. Also, and also every day I'm interacting with international people like Hungarians or like my classmates from different countries. Even I have to react in English, which I am not used to. So it's more difficult.
I'm asking it because for me, I think it's much easier to learn alone and be more self-reliant, because when I was used to, like waiting for other peers or teachers, they couldn't really explain if I didn't understand something. And now that I have to learn for myself, I feel like I'm learning much faster and better. So
You don't have to wait for anybody.
When you chose communications as your master's, what were your expectations about the major?
Honestly, I wanted to pursue my master's in brand management or marketing because I worked as a creative project manager back in Mongolia. But here they didn't have, I think they did have marketing program in English, but because of the scholarship limit, they were not offering this to Mongolian students. So I had to switch it to communication and media, which was the closest to brand management and marketing. And when I first heard and researching about the program itself, it was leaning more towards to like journalism or like traditional media. So my expectations were kind of lower because I'm not really looking for a specialization in traditional media or like becoming a journalist. However, when I started taking the compulsory courses in my program, my expectations I think went a little bit higher because we were learning like the theories on paper, but at the same time we were doing some practical assignments on researching social media, creating our own contents, or like running social experiment with our classmates, going around the university, like doing some practical stuff.
So it's slightly more complicated than what we expected.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Especially this semester, we are starting to write more academic papers. Like for more than two classes, we have to like write 10 to 20 pages of academic paper, and yeah. So it's definitely getting more complicated, more academically challenging.
But you don't feel like you're wasting your time, basically.
Sometimes I do, because, for example, this course, I don't know if I can say the name, intercultural pragmatics. So this course is all about learning about the differences between different cultures, how they perceive communication, language, and everything. But somehow it's getting kind of repetitive. They're just repeating the same old concepts. Also, different cultures have different way of communicating,
Yeah,
interacting.
I have also heard that the communications is basically just relearning the stuff, the same stuff in a different way.
Yeah, so it's just one concept. I feel like it's just one concept, but they're just repeating the same example, same concept, same everything.
we have a question that is related to this, by the way. Do you think you are obtaining useful knowledge here in your masters?
Not really exceptionally useful because when you're studying international relations, you acquire basic knowledge about different cultures, their histories, basically what's happening around the different countries, their politics and everything. So I have a good foundation for that. And here it's not like I'm learning something new, but it's more about I'm becoming like proper researcher, or like I'm becoming a proper academically advanced student who can use critical thinking, who would not jump to a conclusion without asking the right question. It's more about how it's more. I think for master's students, it's more about learning that skills, and I think it's very useful to ask the right questions, to critically judge, think before you jump to conclusion.
Is communications a bit more theoretical compared to IR?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that can be connected to this. So is there something cool that you have done in the almost 2 semesters that you've spent here?
She did a podcast with two guys.
Okay, two things come to my mind. First one is we got to run a mini social experiment about how people dispose themselves to strangers, how they gradually open themselves to strangers.
It's like the onion,
Yeah.
whatever that is, yeah.
And it was nice to collaborate with different students, different international students, and just the process of running the experiment and until the end product, the whole process was very fun. Finally, we felt like we're doing something practical.
And did you end up doing something like useful? Did the end result turn out like...
Yeah, it's not like we come up with something new, but we learned how to run a mini project, how to effectively communicate with the project participants, how to guide them and everything.
And then was another thing?
Yeah, the second thing was it's more personal because I really like films. I really like to explore different films, especially like art house, indie films. And this semester we are taking compulsory course named Creative Industries. So on this course, we basically have to choose an event, like art event. This can be film festival or like music festival or even Comic-Con festival, anything related to art. And we have to go there by ourselves, observe how they are creating the art event. And at the end, we have to hand in the event report. And I went to photography museum in Sweden, and I got to see one of the legendary photographers exhibition. They very well curated the whole thing, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought to myself, what do you mean I'm doing this for my school assignment? I'm going to an art gallery and I'm writing an academic paper on this. It's so cool. So that was one of the cool projects I did.
And what's your favorite movie?
Good question. So far, I think Perfect Days is my go-to.
And have you had the chance to talk about that in your class?
I would have, because we get to introduce our favorite movie. It's basically a pitch, like a sales pitch, where we have to persuade our classmates to watch a specific movie we chose. So I didn't get a chance to introduce my pitch to my classmates because my professor had a personal.
But I guess that's also quite a cool thing.
It's actually cool. I like this kind of random courses related to art and visuals because we're also studying communication and media. We should get decent basic knowledge on different kinds of art forms, I think, as a media students. So I think it's good.
And have you considered to work in the film industry later?
Later, after graduating,
Yes.
no.
Not at all.
It's because it's too difficult or too, I don't know.
Because
I just want to be a good. Uh, I just want to be in the audience, not in the movie set. But maybe if I get a chance to work on a project related to films, I would definitely.
yeah, I'm not asking like being an actor or something. Just work in the film industry. I don't know. It's really big, so you can choose which
That
job.
would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely work as an assistant or like as a manager on the set. You know.
As a master's student, do you feel pressure that you should work in a place that's related to your major? Also, I mean that like simultaneously as you are in the major. I know that you have a job, but do you feel pressure to work in a place that's related to communications, like right now?
It would be better if I have some real life experience, a professional experience in media or communication. And I really want to change my job, get an internship or like get a part-time job in communication and media agency.
Because in Hungary, for example, a lot of people who are in their masters and they are not working while they are doing their masters, especially not working in the specific industry that they are studying, they are kind of frowned upon, if that makes sense. Like as if they are wasting time, basically. Like people have expectations here to work next to their masters.
Ah, I think it's also case for Mongolia or like anywhere else. We need to have some proper work experience before pursuing your master's degree. And I think you really should have at least like 1 year full-time experience.
But you did have some kind of experience?
Yeah, I did. I had 2 years of full-time experience. I actually worked in many different places. Like I worked at one of the biggest banks in Mongolia as a corporate translator, and I also worked in one of the media agencies back in Mongolia for a year as a creative project manager. And before that, I also had some part-time experiences. So I think it really help you. It would really help you if you can get a chance to work full-time, pursue full-time career before deciding to start your master's. But some students, some master's students who didn't do any job before coming into master's,
They are wasting time, I think.
I wouldn't say they wasted time, but
For their careers, like regarding their careers, it's kind of time wasted.
you know that meme? You're just postponing the unemployment, so you pursue master's degree or like higher education.
I think I might even have like I was thinking about asking a question like that, like are you worried about I don't know graduating and then having to be another like completely? Okay, whatever.
I wouldn't be unemployed because I can go back to Mongolia, and this is actually a good reputation that you got to pursue higher education abroad. You can get a salary raise for that. You can use that reputation for a good job, a better job, like with better salary in Mongolia.
But are you planning to go back to Mongolia or you don't know yet?
I don't want to go immediately after graduating.
'Cause I know there are many people abroad, from abroad, that are coming to Hungary, doing their diploma, BSc or MSc, and then
Going back to Mongolia. If I can, I really want to stay here and maybe work 2 or 3 more years so that I can really have a solid experience.
But on the same field you are working right now, or okay. And do you know any like you said you worked with media agencies? Do you know any Hungarian media agencies you would work with here?
No, I have no idea.
Would you recommend Corvinus's master's program to others? I know you don't have experience in other master's programs, but still, like based on what you've heard.
I would definitely recommend the program to my friends who are interested in studying in Europe, or like especially if they have tight budget, because I think Hungary is one of the most affordable places amongst the other European countries, especially if you are coming from like Asia. At least that was my case, because okay, I want to go to abroad, but what about my budget? Like, if it's gonna be too much expense, then I can't fully focus on my studies. But luckily, Hungary wasn't the case, because they were offering full scholarship for foreigners, and I think it's a good opportunity if you want to experience how international programs are, and you're just getting the same opportunity as anywhere else. I think you have your international students, you have good qualified professors with qualified materials, and you get to meet lots of international people. So I think it's one of the most affordable options
I know that
than anywhere else.
I know that prices are quite cheap compared to other European countries, but aren't you worried about how, let's say you ended up working here for a couple of years, and obviously real wages are not very strong in Hungary. Like that's why prices are quite low. But for Hungarians, like for Hungarian wages, the prices are not that cheap. So wouldn't it be better to go to other European countries that have much better wages and then adjust to the prices that they have there?
I mean, yeah, logically that's better.
But maybe on the short term, it's easier to adjust to Hungary.
I think it's a good start if you never studied abroad before. It's a good start to get to experience how it is like to live in Europe, because Hungary is still a part of Europe.
Still.
I mean, I know lots of people look down on Hungary when they
Yeah,
hear
even,
about
even
Hungary.
Hungarians. So
Yeah, even Hungarians. And I feel very personally attacked whenever I hear the locals speaking bad of their country, or when, like, my other friends asking, like, stupid questions like, oh, where's Hungary? Like, come on, it's in Europe. And also you get a chance to travel around Schengen countries. So while you're studying, you can also get to travel around Europe. So it's a good opportunity. And for someone who hasn't exposed to international environment, it's a good starting place. That's for sure. I can guarantee you that. I did short-term exchange program at the University of Kansas in the United States. I also traveled to Japan, Korea. So I have some solid examples to compare how Hungary is like compared to other countries, and it's good.
So you're basically saying that with Schengen, you can go to Hungary, and by studying in Hungary, you can then visit other cooler places.
Yeah.
Okay.
so it's like a step in
Yeah,
between. Yeah. I guess we can say we are far back. How many countries did you visit so far? Around.
4.
What about
That
you?
sucks. I was living in Germany for 7 years.
Oh,
So we moved back last year. I think it's
but
almost exactly 1 year ago.
you're ethnically Hungarian.
I'm completely Hungarian.
100%.
Yes.
Sure.
But if we ignore living in Germany, then maybe, I don't know, 3 countries, and all the 3 countries are like here in Eastern Europe, so not far away. So Japan and USA is a pretty big step.
In communications, is it more important to gather experience and acquire connections, or is it better to focus on the material?
In communications,
Yeah,
communications
Specific.
in general,
specific to this major,
masters.
either masters or bachelors.
I think. Wait, I have to think actually. Gather experience, acquire connections.
I think just to start off the like I don't know thought. A lot of people say that we aren't really here to study the actual material and like remember these things along the years. It's much more important to get to know interesting or successful people or people who are going to be successful and make connections with them. And you know we can gather some experience with shooting films or taking pictures, such things, writing articles. So
Yes,
is the
connection.
experience actually more important in communications? Is it more important than the material itself?
What do you think?
I would say like when I've got here like first 2 weeks, everyone was telling that connections will be really really important. So that was highlighted for me, and I believe it's true because communications and media, like the name says, it's not so much of material and theory. I think experience is very very important here.
I wouldn't like to agree with it, but I do agree with this sentiment because you have to get out of your comfort zone and when you are studying this major and to make it make sense that you're studying this major. And I think I'm much better at studying the material actually. So and that won't be very useful. So how do you see this? I don't know question.
I think definitely, unless you're doing your PhD or unless you're gonna become a researcher specializing in this field, it's better. It's definitely better to get out there and just start doing some practical stuffs using what you have learned in class. For example, I'm doing something I've been postponing for so long, which is to create content on social media. It's more of like a paradox, like a inner conflict with me, that I would start doing some contents on social media, but then at the same time, I really want some peace of mind. So I would just delete everything I've done. It used to be like that, but now that I'm pursuing this as something academic, I don't want to just delete everything and stop what I started. So I'm very determined to continue doing contents because that's what I'm learning basically at the university. So I think it's gonna be a good use if I can make that something. If I can make something practical, and about the connections, about meeting interesting people or like successful people in the industry. Honestly, so far we haven't met any interesting people in terms of our program.
But with that, I would say that you need to make connections with your course mates, and they might become successful people. That way you can gather connections, and you know you have to pick your friends carefully to be friends with people who are going to be I don't know like successful and they can employ you maybe.
Then you even build up a firm together. That's how Fidesz started, actually.
Indeed. I think that would be a good closing. I don't know sentence.
Okay.
Okay, no, but to actually close, you are positive, looking for the future and about graduating and about your degree's usefulness. You have this.
Yeah, say something.
Yes, I'm very, very much positive about the good outcome of this program.
Okay. Thank you for coming here and talking to us.
Thank you for helping out.
Thank you so much.